Why this fish needs to have seen these jokes?
For centuries, people have wondered whether sea monsters really exist. Here is evidence suggesting that sea cryptids may exist worldwide. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Let's get started. Here's a man enjoying surfing. But as he looks below, a massive fish the size of a person appeared. The man roped it in and pulled it up. But as it turns out, this creature was a giant squid. And suddenly, the situation was reversed. The squid started to reach its tentacles towards the man and his surfboard. Frightened, the man jumps into the ocean to flee. Then it seized the surfboard and held on tight with its suction cups, refusing to let go. Have you ever heard of the Kraken? The massive sea monster shown in movies like Pirates of the Caribbean. These giant octopuses or squids have appeared in many stories since old times. The term Kraken is said to originate from the Norwegian word krake, meaning polar region. It refers to a huge sea monster inhabiting the polar seas. However, in modern times, the Kraken has been depicted primarily as cephalopods like octopuses or squids. Even today, carcasses of giant squids over 10 meters long occasionally wash up on shores. Ancient people who witnessed these thought of them as legendary monsters. In Europe, people historically abhorred and feared cephalopods like squids and octopuses. This, combined with the fear of the unknown of the distant sea, gave rise to gigantic mythical creatures that even sank ships. Here is a video recording the sounds of such a kraken. Have a look at this video.
It's like a tiger in the water.
Exactly, perhaps combined with a frightening elephant. Imagine swimming underwater in the ocean and out of nowhere, hearing this sound. Have you ever heard the sound of ice cracking? This place is the famous Lake Baikal, known as one of the deepest lakes in the world. During winter, the entire lake freezes over, and someone is skating across the ice. But at that moment, the sound of the ice breaking is enormously loud. That sound is similar to an animation sound effect. I imagined the sound of breaking glass, but it wasn't at all. It resembles the mysterious ultrasonic tones one might hear from an alien spaceship. Not only is the sound frightening, but cracks are appearing on the surface as the person skates. If you stand there, the sight of ice cracking may be more alarming than the sound itself. The first secret behind this sound lies in the expansion and contraction of ice. In winter, there's a big temperature difference between day and night. That's why the ice slightly expands during the day and contracts at night. During this process, the ice experiences pressure and cracks. When this occurs, you hear a sort of snapping sound. It's also an effect of ultrasonic resonance. When the ice breaks, it releases tremendous energy that transforms into ultrasonic waves and spreads through the water below the ice's surface. So the sound doesn't just resemble an ultrasonic noise, it really is one. On flat and vast ice like that of Lake Baikal, this sound travels far and becomes even more grand. Inside the ice are trapped bubbles and tiny fractures. The tiny air bubbles within the ice vibrate due to temperature changes. This vibration mixes with the sound generated when the ice breaks, making it sound even more fascinating. When the fracture spreads, it resonates clearly like the twang of a guitar string. Moreover, the surroundings of Lake Baikal are very quiet during winter, so the sound of the ice becomes even more distinctly audible. Places where you can experience nature's music like this are truly rare. Indeed, Lake Baikal in winter presents a breathtaking view. Vehicles travel directly over the ice, and people are seen walking around on it. Lake Baikal, situated in southern Siberia, Russia, is the world's deepest and oldest freshwater lake. It extends about 636 kilometers in length and up to 80 kilometers in width. Its surface area is nearly 30,000 square kilometers, which is about a third of South Korea's landmass. The maximum depth reaches 1.6 kilometers, making it the world's deepest lake. Lake Baikal's width actually increases by 2 centimeters every year. Although it is already vast, it might become a small sea in the future. As expected from a freshwater lake, it boasts the clearest water in the world. During winter, visibility can reach depths of 40 meters.
It's too scary. I could never walk on it.
There's a reason people walk on its frozen surface with ease. Winter ice is over a meter thick, making it unlikely to break even when cracked. However, you must stay cautious. There might exist an undiscovered creature, the Baikal Nessie. This creature, likened to Scotland's Loch Ness Monster, was reportedly seen by Soviet divers in 1982 during training. They described it as a silver creature around 3 meters in size. Attempts to capture it failed as they were unexpectedly propelled to the water's surface. Tragically, 3 divers succumbed to heart attacks amid this incident. This event sensationalized the mystery surrounding the Baikal Nessie. What do you think would happen if an elephant fell into the water? Here is a deep swimming pool. But there's an elephant walking in the water. Its posture is quite unique, lifting its front legs to raise its upper body. Perhaps it's doing this to raise its head above the water to breathe. Usually, elephants are thought of as heavy and lumbering. Seeing one floating freely underwater feels surprisingly novel. The pool was the first level. Next is the ocean. When you think of elephants, you think of African plains. And you'd imagine such a massive, heavy creature would sink instantly in the sea. Yet, here at the coast of Thailand, an elephant is stepping into the ocean with a person. At first, I thought it was just enjoying a swim or shower in the seaside. But look here. The feet of this big, tall elephant can't even touch the ocean floor. Despite the deep waters, this elephant floats comfortably as it swims.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Considering the size of an elephant, it might cause a cognitive dissonance. But perhaps it's their size that provides enough buoyancy to float easily. Have you ever heard of the elephant fish? In the sandy seabed 200 meters deep near southern Australia and New Zealand, the elephant shark resides. The elephant shark is nicknamed elephant fish due to its distinctive snout shape. Some of them can grow up to 125 centimeters in length. While not as large as an elephant, its size would be comparable to a 7-year-old human child. Interestingly, this species has remained nearly unchanged for approximately 420 million years. That's why it's called a living fossil. And it has sensors on its snout that can detect electrical signals. Using these, it finds food such as mollusks hidden in the sand.
Why this fish needs to have seen these jaws?
Have you ever seen the tiger of the fish world? Check out this video. In the video, a man has caught a large fish in the Congo River in Africa. This fish is called the Goliath tigerfish. From its name alone, you can tell its size is formidable. He's proudly showing off this almost human-sized fish to people in front of his house. Then he loads it into his car's trunk, its gaping mouth being particularly striking. Its teeth are all very sharp like fangs. A single bite could tear something apart easily. Among fishing enthusiasts, catching one of these must instantly make you a hero. In the past, it would be akin to the tales of capturing a tiger in the mountains. Do you know how piranhas can actually be quite useful in daily life? Here by the riverbank, someone is holding a piranha with one hand. They move the twig slightly towards the piranha's mouth. In an instant, the twig is completely severed.
The twig was cut so cleanly.
Yeah, it's like having a pair of scissors in your hand. It even comes with a continuous feature. While one might seem cute, it's a different story if they're in large numbers. Imagine encountering a swarm of piranhas underwater. My flesh would all be devoured in an instant. So, which is the strongest fish with teeth? It's Whitey, residing in the White River. The White River is located in Newport, Arkansas, USA. It's said that an aquatic cryptid, gray, nearly as long as 3 cars and as wide as one, existed here. First sighted in 1915, its tail dates back to the Civil War era. There weren't any sightings for decades, but since 1971, numerous sightings have been reported. Some claimed it had a horn on its forehead, while others argued it had spines along its back. However, one cryptozoologist dismissed these claims, saying it was merely an elephant seal from the White River and Mississippi River. But contrary to the sightings, illustrations of the creature resemble Zephactinus. Could this giant fish, which lived during the late Cretaceous period, possibly still exist? Then why did that cryptozoologist claim it to be an elephant seal? Perhaps it's because of its size. Take a look at this video. There are many seals and sea lions gathered by the shore. But among them, there's a massive one, at least 4 times larger than the others.
It's like the Shaq O'Neal of seals.
That one isn't just an ordinary seal, but an elephant seal. It crawls up the beach, pausing occasionally, and due to its massive size, it struggles even to roll over. Still, it eventually finds a spot, lies down, and casually settles into nap mode. Observing things like this always reminds me of the diversity of marine life in the ocean. Have you heard of Trunco, the elephant of the sea? In 1924, This legendary creature was first sighted on the Margate Beach in South Africa. At that time, people witnessed this creature battling 2 killer whales for 3 hours. It was said to showcase remarkable jumping ability, leaping as high as 20 feet into the air. A few days later, Trunko's body washed up on the shore. It measured 14 meters long, had a tail resembling a lobster's, snow-white fur, and an elephant-like trunk. However, it lacked a head, with the trunk connected directly to the torso. But here's the twist in the story. At the time, no one conducted a proper investigation, and it was thought there were no photographs. However, in 2010, Carl Schuker discovered an old photograph. Analysis of the photo revealed that Trunko was actually the decayed carcass of a whale. What appeared to be white fur was, in fact, decomposed connective tissue fibers of the whale. It's likely that people at the time mistook the sight of killer whales playing with the whale's carcass as a battle with a sea monster. Yet, this story remained a mystery for as long as 85 years. This event emphasizes how blurred the line between nature, legend, and reality can sometimes be. Japan also has a legend of a giant, mysterious underwater creature. Its name is the Zuyo Maru. In 1977, the Japanese fishing vessel Zuyo Maru hauled up a large carcass near New Zealand, measuring about 10 meters in length. This carcass had a long neck and resembled a plesiosaur, prompting speculation among people that it might be an ancient creature. However, scientists concluded after analysis that it was likely the decayed remains of a great hammerhead shark. When sharks decay, certain parts disintegrate, creating the appearance of a long-necked creature. However, this incident remains a mystery and is frequently mentioned in discussions about sea monsters or unidentified creatures. It's an event that stirs the imagination, akin to the Loch Ness Monster. Even today, there is video evidence suspected to show Zuyo Maru. A boat was calmly floating on the sea, but it began to sway slightly. Then suddenly the surface churned violently, rocking the boat. It seemed as if something enormous struck from below. Given its huge size, viewers of this footage speculated it might be Zuyo Maru.
Being out at sea is so dangerous.
The bloop is a nickname for a mysterious ultra-low frequency sound detected by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in the past. It was a massive sound emanating from the ocean depths. Some claimed it was the cry of a huge sea monster. Some scientists explained it as the sound of icebergs cracking or colliding. But theories about an unidentified marine creature are constantly brought up. No one knows for sure whether it's a kraken or possibly something even larger. The ocean is a place where humanity has yet to explore most of its parts. That's why mysteries like the bloop are intriguing and stir curiosity. If you're curious about other ocean cryptids, let me know in the comments.